Hello there. As an Airbnb host, the booking process is possibly the most important aspect of your business, but way too many hosts lose potential guests to unprofessional and clumsy booking experiences. But it doesn't have to be so. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create interactive and seamless booking experience that converts and gets you more bookings. Now, watch till the end, and I'll also have a gift for you in addition to showing you, to giving you this hack. Now, let me show you how it works. So as you can see, this form is super seamless and it's interactive enough that the guests always know what to do. They always know. They're never confused. They're never, disillusioned with the process. It's straight to the point and it converts. I mean, so if you want now, if you watch till the end of this video, if you continue watching the video, I'm going to show you how I do this step by step, how I was able to create this form step by step. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to give you a gift. I have something for you, and I want you to, well, you have to watch till the end of the video to get it. So let's go. Hello, everyone, and good evening. Well, I hope it's evening wherever you are. So, because it's evening where I am. So, good evening. Well, today I would like to show you how to create a form using the Click Any tool. Now, this is Click Any. I'm already signed into my dashboard. So, you go to app.clickany.com and you'll be prompted to sign in. I'm signed in already and I'm about to create a form. Now, this is the create form button. I'm going to click on this to get started on my form. So, for the sake of this video, I'm going to create an Airbnb booking form. Now, as soon as I before I get on building the form, I have to select a theme. Now, for this form, I think I'm going to go for one of the darker themes because I like this how this looks and I like dark energy. So let's go create form. I'll give it a couple of seconds and we'll be writing. Okay, I'm in. Now, as you can see, I have a blank canvas here and the form elements on this side. Now, for the purpose of this video, for the purpose of this form, this Airbnb form, I already have something generated for me by ChatGPT. So on here, I have an Airbnb booking request form. Now, this is a form to collect information from the prospective guests. So, say you have a guest that wants to book your Airbnb apartment, you send them this form and they would fill it, and then you have some information of some of their data, and that will allow you to make decisions as regards the booking. But that's all. That's let's assume that's the business we're in, and we want to create a form. So this is what the form will look like. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to make the form about 3 pages long. So the first page is going to be for the guest information, the second page is for the booking details, and the third page is for the accommodation preferences. So what type of accommodation the guest would like to have. Now, all of these, I'm not going to use this. I'm going to make it neat and simple. So let's dive in. Now, just for the record, you can decide the elements of your form yourself. I am just choosing to use ChatGPT because I'm lazy. Now let's go. So um now I have to we're gonna put a heading here, put another heading in between them. Then let's go for email. Yes, email. and phone. Now this is the form title. This will be the form title. Let's put it here. Center this. Now this is where you would typically put the company name. Let's call this Rostov. Rostov Properties. Fill out the form to complete your booking. Fill out this form. Okay, so now we have a heading for our form, and this gives people an idea of what we want from them. Now, this is a heading. This is to inform people about the section of the form where they are. So, as you can see from here, we have guest information section, and then we have a booking details section, and then accommodation preference section. So, for this, we have the guest information section. Let's go for guest information. Let's I want this to say, tell us about yourself. Okay, and now we have full name. Let's give them an idea of what we want. So e.g. Maya. Let's make this required, and then we go over to email address. There's no need for to tell them what that is about, and let's make this required as well. And then phone number. Let's make this required as well. So as you can see, we're done with the first page of our form. So this tells them, when they see this, they know, okay, guest information, tell us about yourself, and then they see the various fields where to input their various personal data or guest information. Now, I don't want the form to be a long stretch that you keep on scrolling and filling. I don't want that. So I want a situation where there are breaks in between. So there's a page one where they fill this, and then for them to continue, I want there to be a button here that says go to the next page to see the rest of the form. So here we go. I'm going to do this now. This is page one. I'm going to add another page. So as you can see now, this is page one, and this is what it looks like. So there's another page to go to the next section of the form. Now the second section of the form is called the booking details section. So the element for this number of guests is a drop down, and then we have a check-in date, a checkout date, and the duration of stay um, field, which is a number, and then we have the preferred location, which is another drop down. So I'm using these as my guide. I'm using these as my guide to know the elements to use for my form. So we have drop down dates. Sorry. Date, number, and then another drop down. Okay. Now this is number of guests. Okay, let's start with the heading. This says booking details. Provide details of your booking. Okay. And now the first one is number of guests. Now this will tell us how many guests when they provide these details. It will tell us how many guests they intend to book the apartment for. So this will give us an idea of the size of apartments to book them for. Now we want to drop down because we want them to be able to select we want pre-selected options. We wanted to select from a range of options. So it goes something like Let's see, one to two, three to four. Okay, one to two, three to four, five to six, and seven plus. Say one to two guests. We can. So as you can see, the whatever we do is auto saved. But I like to do things old school sometimes. I like to go in there and save myself. Although you can just leave it be. So it's gonna be fine on this out. Now, so this is a date question. So once this is for them to tell us when they intend to check in, the date they intend to check in. Let's make this required as well. Okay. Let's make this required as well. No. So the question is, so I think I should just copy this one out. I think it was worded perfectly on ChatGPT. So it says duration of stay, nights, how many nights they intend to stay. Okay. Let's just do this required as well. Now, preferred location. Okay. So now we're going to assume that we are an Airbnb host with several properties to our, in our collection, and we want to give our prospective guests an options to choose from, so they could decide to choose. So I'm going to assume that we are in different European countries. So say Paris, yeah, different European cities. Pardon me, Paris, London, Munich, say Madrid. And there we go. So let's tell them which city. Maybe a bit of a grammatical correction there. But yes, so this tells them. So this is with this field, we'll have a very good idea of where our guests would like to stay. So now, as I said, so we had the first section here on the first page, the second section on the second page, and now we're going to fill out the third and final section on the third page. Now, third section is the accommodation preferences. I'm just going to copy this time. Let's take a heading. So they seem to always get things the second time around, but that's no problem. Can make do. Now we have the room type, which is a single choice question, budget range, drop down, and text area. So let's go. Single choice, text area. Now, single choice question is room type. So for the options here, here's what we'll do. I'm just gonna go copy them and paste them. Private room, and then we have entire apartment. And then we have the third option, which is a shared space. Now we have the budget range. So let's say we want to give our guests a range of options to pick from. So let's say from 50 to $100 per night. Let's say 100 to 150. Let's add one more option or two more options. So let's say 150 to 200. Let's just copy this out again. Let's call this option 200 plus per night. Now watch this. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something here, and I'll need you to pay attention. So now I want. So with this now, I can separate my prospects into different cadres, if you may. Now I want to introduce a condition here now, such that if when I find someone who wants to get an apartment where they pay $200 plus per night, I want to suggest an add-on to them. So let's say butler. All right, I want to ask them if they would like to have a butler to go with the apartment. So now I'm going to before that I'm going to introduce something else. Mm, let's make it another single choice question. Let's say, would you like a butler to go with the apartment? Okay, now the first answer is yes, and the second is no. Let's stay consistent in our style. Now, I'm gonna hide this field so nobody sees this unless I want them to. So now here's how I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go here now and go to page 3, which is where we have the question, this one, the budget range question. Now I'm gonna add a rule to that. This is how I create a condition in my form. So so basically what I've said is if someone selects this option as this which is $200 per night as the answer to this question, to the budget range question, then show them this one. Then give them the butler option. So as you can see, this is really, it's pretty straightforward. How I did that, I'm gonna go out of here. So how did I do that again? I I hid this. I created a field and I hid it. Now I created a condition here where I went to logic, created a condition where if they selected a certain answer to a question, it will show that page, it will show that option, that field for them to fill. So that said, I have the final question to ask, which is additional services. This is if they would like any special preferences to. So this is where you say things like, I would like a wheelchair, or I would like this, I would like that. So this is, no, sorry, special requests. Special requests. Pardon me. Special requests, not additional services. Special requests like, so you can just copy this out. So they can specify any, they can state any special request they would like to have to make. So before I now we're done with our form and all that's left is for us to publish it, to hit publish. But before I do that, I would like to preview this now. So fill out this form to complete your booking. On a start form, I can fill this, say Amaya, because I like Amaya Rostov. Oh, what did I do? I think I must have swapped the fields. So I took this upwards. This is where you belong. Okay. All is right in the world again. Let's go. Let's start this. Amaya Rostov. This is Amaya. I hope none of you are named Amaya because I may be giving them your details now. Okay. Number of guests 3 to 4. Check-in dates. Okay, as you can see now, I can go and check in. It's today's 27th. But I can check in. I can even, select some dates in January. And I don't want that. We don't want people to be able to check in at as a past date. So I'll need to fix that. Disable past dates. Same thing for this. Disable past dates. So now I'm gonna preview this. Checking dates you can only select. So I can select any of these now, as you can see. So I can only select these, and we don't want time travelers in our apartment. Okay. Let's go to March. I think I can select this in March. Okay. So duration of stay, you can pick 4 nights. Preferred locations, London. Private room. Additional services, nothing. Okay. So Now that said, the form is looking good now, and I think we can publish this. It looks pretty nice. Mm, yeah. So I think I'm gonna hit publish now. I just have to make everything required again. So let's just make this required, and we have a form that's good to go. Now this doesn't have to be required. This one, if they say it should be required. Room type is definitely required. Budget range definitely required. Okay, so our form is good to go. Mm, Now when let's say Ilya this time, the this is 7 nights. This is 7 nights in Paris. Was be celebrating something really special. An entire apartment, and I want to splurge on this, and yes, of course, your we would appreciate your finest servant of Wagyu beef. So as you can see, the form has been received. Now, all is working as it should. So now we can publish this. Now, when I hit publish, as you can see, I have three options, three publishing options. So I could share a link where this is where I just copy this link and post it somewhere, or I could embed this form in my website. Like, and then finally, I have a QR code that I could have guests scan when they want to book a listing. So all of this, but for the purposes of this video, this the share link option is gonna suffice for me. So let's do that now. Let's go here and paste. Now I told you about how you're gonna get a gift at the end of this video. Well, your gift is, if you like this form, you can have it. You can have this form as a template. So if you're an Airbnb host and you would like to build a form but you don't want to start from scratch, then you can have mine. I'm going to leave a link to the template in the description below so you can have it so you don't have to build from scratch. You're welcome. Okay, so filling this out now. As you can see, it's all smooth. It's all as we intended. Pardon me for filling an invalid email address. I think this should work now. Okay. So number of guests, one or two, check-in dates. Let's say this, and then checkout dates. Oh, sorry. Okay. Pardon me. Say 3 nights. 3 nights in Madrid. That sounds so good. Private room, budget range. So as you can see, when I select this, nothing happens. But when I go for this, I get this extra form field. Let me say we would love some peach and quiet. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yes, and here we go. So as you can see, the form works as intended. I mean, there's no slip ups or there's no friction here. It's just seamless process. So I think this is good. Now, so this is what's our guest. This will be our guest experience when they use this form. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna go in there, and before I round off, I would like to show you something. Um, so I'd like to show you what the form submissions are. So the form submissions, these are the number of these are the guests that I've gotten so far who have booked this apartment. So as you can see, these are all the people that have booked the apartments. I'm sure they're all Rostovs because I've been the one filling this form. So yeah, Rostov. We have a lot of Rostovs in our apartment so far. But yeah, this is what it's gonna look like. So you can download this or even sync it up to your email client. It works either ways. Um, and then yes, so everything works as intended right now, and I think it's for the purpose of this video, we've done well. Okay, so do try it out, and don't forget to get the templates to this form in the description below so you can get on creating one of yours. That said, I'll see you in another video. Cheers.